Welcome to the Business Spotlight Series. My name is Steve Chiama, and I'm the franchise owner for Action Coach Western Fairfax, and I'm your host today for the Business Spotlight Series podcast. Today, I've got the pleasure to introduce Laurie A. Watkins, the principal of LFW Strategies. Today, we're going to talk about Laurie's business, her journey into business ownership, challenges, best practices, and share a peek into what it's really like to own and operate a business. So if this is your first time on the show, please like and subscribe to get notifications when a new show like this drops. So Laurie, welcome to the show. Thank you for being with us. And please, if you would, give us a little bit of background about who you are and a little bit about your business, if you would, please.
Thanks for having me, Steve. I have had owned and operated LFW Strategies since 2017. And we are a high-level organization that doesn't just think strategically about communications. We help organizations, companies, individuals, even foreign governments, help them with crafting their message strategically, whether that's around policy, politics, etc. And essentially, if you want your message to be heard, understood, and remembered, and you want to make an impact, then LFW Strategies is who you should call.
Fantastic, fantastic. Now, let's start a little bit by giving some context to the listeners. Um, how are you structured? I think you're solo owner. Are there business partners? Are there outside investors? How does that look?
No outside investment, which we're really proud about. I have multiple different partners, but no owners that have a stake in the business. It's sole proprietorship, and again, really proud of that fact.
Yeah, fantastic. I would be too, and I am as well. That's the way to be as far as I'm concerned, but each to his own. Um, Current role. So in that scenario, I'm presuming you're doing everything in the business pretty much.
Well, I have a couple partners that I bring on for various projects to deal with specific clients or organizations if
Good.
that expertise is needed,
Mhm.
working within that specific industry or field. But yes, I do a lot of the work, and today is a holiday. It's Indigenous Peoples Day, and I've been cranking since 5 o'clock this morning. Multiple meetings, multiple interviews, have some TV after this. So yes, as a business owner, I think most of your viewers could understand and appreciate that you never really get a day off, and you always want to have your phone by you. And friends and family understand that. I have very strict boundaries when it comes to certain times and turning things off, but also, when you're on vacation, you're always working because if the phone rings, it means that it is a potential client or customer. And I pride myself on referrals and my reputation and the respect I've created for myself with over 20 years in this industry. And so, yeah, I always want to make sure that I answer those calls.
So you wear all the hats.
Sometimes, yes.
Cool. All right. So what makes you unique?
So, what sets us apart is that I don't just craft messages, I help leaders tell their story in a way that connects, persuades, and resonates. My work often goes way beyond communication. It can influence public perception,
Yeah.
shape policy, and even affect the political climate. And
Hmm.
people come to me because they want results, they want
Hmm.
clarity, and they want confidence in how they are represented, whether
Hmm.
it's business, a government, or for public affairs.
Okay. So if I was out there looking for your services, how would I identify myself? How would I know that you're the person I should be talking to?
Do you mean against any of my competitors?
Yep.
Yeah, so there are many communications consultants and firms out there. Some are very large, some are small, some are more niche. We are a niche firm. And I say that because what makes LFW strategies different is the depth and breadth of experience that I bring. I mentioned that a little bit earlier. I've worked at the highest levels of business, the highest levels of government, politics, and international affairs. And I understand how to navigate these complex messages and the challenges that can come along with that, especially in this climate that we are all dealing with here in the USA. Most consultants, they kind of focus on one sector, and I work across different industries and geographies, which gives, my clients the upper hand, and I think gives them a lot more edge than other consultants can offer them.
What are the industries that you work across?
So some of the industries are Fortune 500 companies. Like I said, I also go into schools as a highly paid speaker, universities on down. Also in working with governments, whether that's here in the US, whether that's across the world, helping people craft their messages.
Hmm.
Also working with different businesses that could be positioned around the world as well. So that international affairs degree of mine really has been put to good use.
Yeah, yeah. Good, 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 good. What's one thing you wish more people knew about your business?
Oh, well, I wish that people often, I think, have a misunderstanding about how good messaging can actually move the needle. It's not just about being polished, it's about being strategic, it's about being authentic and memorable. And the
Hmm.
right message delivered in the right way can change perception, it can inspire action, and even shift outcomes on a really big scale.
Okay. Why did you choose? We're going to shift directions just a little bit here. Why did you choose to go into business in the first place? What was it that inspired you?
Well, my answer might resonate and be relatable to a lot of business owners is that you got burned by somebody. You were working for an
Fair enough.
employer that you felt disrespected you,
Hmm.
didn't see your value and the contributions that you were bringing to the table. And you
Hmm.
decided that you can do this on your own. And to have that courage and confidence to go out on your own is not to be understated. I congratulate people when I see their announcements, whether it's on LinkedIn or any kind of type of social media platform that people are using, or they're making announcements through a Substack or a blog that they've decided to pivot and go out on their own, which I maybe you are as well, but I am seeing a ton of right now in this climate of people getting laid off, the uncertainty, people losing their jobs, people getting riffed from the government.
Hmm.
Um, these a lot of friends that I know are going out on their own, and they're asking me for advice, and I am very grateful that they've asked, and I'm taking the time to kind of be a mentor and give them
Hmm.
some of the tools that helped me be able to
Hmm.
establish my business, back in 2017 when I decided to make that leap and go out
Hmm.
on.
Fantastic, fantastic. Kind of picking up from that, what's the most memorable hurdle you've had to overcome in driving this business forward?
It is constantly diversifying your revenue streams. And I don't mean jumping all over the place. What I mean is,
Mm.
and that's could be another one, is maintaining focus,
Hmm.
not trying to be all over the place. So
Hmm.
finding different revenue streams, but making
Hmm.
sure those all fit in your brand, your messaging, your
Mm.
way you're showing up. So I'm
Mm.
not, taking I'm not taking opportunities also with people that I don't want to work with. And that's a
Hmm.
big deal. And another plus, I
Hmm.
believe, in being able to work for yourself and employ other people is
Hmm.
that I work with people that I want to work with. And
Awesome.
if it turns out not to be a good fit, that's fine. They're free to, that's why we have agreements and contracts, and they're free to move on and work with somebody else. And I am as well. So if I start to feel like a client is, again, not understanding my value or the team, or not doing on their end what it is that we need the client to do in order to be mission successful,
Hmm.
then maybe it's time to have that kind of difficult conversation and cut ties. But I've had these situations in the past where I've actually received referrals from some of these clients later on because for whatever reason we didn't work out, but they realized later on what they had and it was
Hmm.
good and they let it
Hmm.
go and they decided to refer me to somebody else. So I actually have had that happen in the past.
Yeah, why not? I mean, in reality, things can, just because you don't gel with somebody doesn't mean
Right.
they aren't respectful.
Right.
Cool. What's the future look like? Looking out 5 years, 10 years, what do you see for yourself going out that far?
Well, for myself, semi-tied to LFW Strategies, but more I'll speak on my own branding,
Hmm.
is to really kickstart this YouTube channel that I have. I'm doing a ton of
Ah.
TV interviews on my own about various things, and some clients are asking me to be an external voice or a
Hmm.
spokesperson, if you will, on some
Hmm.
issues. So
Hmm.
that's been really exciting.
Hmm.
And also trying to shape policy here in the United States,
Hmm.
um, as far as business and the economy and making things affordable, speaking about issues like that. Also, I'm in the process of it'll be released in January, come the new year, but starting my blog again and my weekly newsletter that I had to put on the back burner because I was growing my business and
Hmm.
also with some life changes. And I'm not afraid to talk about that or mention that, not necessarily get into details, but life changes when you're a business owner.
Hmm.
Those come and go all the time.
Hmm.
And to continue to keep going and remain focused
Hmm.
and deliberate in what you're doing, but also asking for help when you need help is
Good.
is the biggest sign of strength in my book. And I think that also is portrayed and seen by your clients and those that you might not be working with yet. That, wow, look what
Hmm.
she's been able to accomplish or do,
Hmm.
even going through some of those trying times.
Hmm.
And to put a pin in that, we are all going through difficult times. Everybody is dealing with something, and you
Hmm.
might know based on how they're showing up. So just because a person seems polished and looks professional and like they have everything going on, just be mindful that people are struggling out there. And I bring this up, Steve, because a huge focus. I wrote a health and wellness book called Go From Stress to Strong a few years ago. It's won many awards and a best-selling book. And I interview many different people across many different industries on how they went from stress to strong. And it's all about the tools that you use on a daily basis to remain balanced, to remain calm, to remain focused, and to be able to deal with the stress and pressures that we have on a daily basis, especially as business owners. So that's a lot of what my public speaking, when I go on the stage or I'm asked to go and speak, give keynote speeches, that's what I like to focus on is that resilience, but also that mental toughness that people can apply to any sector that they're in.
Life is not for the faint at heart.
No, it's not.
Um, if you started your business over again today, knowing what you know now, what would you do differently?
Hmm. I would probably focus more on the business. I didn't go and get an MBA, I have a master's degree, but it's not in business. And so I learned a lot from experience through watching others, through
Mm.
asking questions,
Hmm.
but I would have done a lot more. Studying is not maybe the right word, more YouTube videos, more um, courses, more courses that specifically deal with business and
Hmm.
business operations. I guess
Hmm.
that business operations would be the key word.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny of all the business owners I've spoken with over the years, and this predates being a coach. I had small business owners for suppliers at times. I think back and I think there's more misinformation about how a business operates than there is good quality information if you don't know where to look. Interesting. Yeah, very, very good. So let's start to head towards wrapping up and touch a few rapid fire questions just to have a little bit of fun here.
All right.
Um, what's the key to success for you?
Oh, the key to success for me is the way I make people feel.
Okay, good.
always about what I say, it's about the way I make people feel. I
Hmm.
also coach executives
Hmm.
and business leaders and some uh, diplomats and people that work for world leaders around the
Hmm.
globe.
Hmm.
And the comments and messages that I receive after the fact, I'll bring up something specifically. I received two messages last week. Two. One included a referral on LinkedIn of a recommendation which went public, which was awesome, right? And I encourage business owners, if you work with someone and you do a really good job, you want to share that with the world, right? Just like Google reviews or Yelp reviews. And one way
Hmm.
that I find is key to doing that is asking these people to give you a recommendation on LinkedIn. So that's one of my tips for you. So I received one of those from a client that just started working in the administration, working
Hmm.
for one of the agencies,
Hmm.
leading a team. And I helped this person prepare for this new role from a leadership perspective, from dealing with imposter syndrome, uh,
Hmm.
how they were going to motivate their team, etc. And this person, after only being a month on the job, put my tools and the things that we talked about, how I helped this person grow through insight on their own, leading them, as a coach, you
Hmm.
lead them to the
Right.
solution and to that insight. You don't tell
Yeah.
them what to do. And tremendous help. And then another message that I received was from a keynote speech that I gave at a university in the spring. And this individual reached out to me saying he still thinks about the words that I said and the way I made him feel, and that
Ah.
they want me to come back and help with this program that they're designing for college students moving forward. So a review, I got feedback that my words made an impact and they are still resonating with this individual. And then it came with another referral, right? And to me,
Awesome.
that is success, is the impact that you make. And if it can continue to have ripple effects, whether it's bringing more business back to you or helping that person grow, which is even better in my book, I know my job and my work here on this earth is done.
Good. Good. Awesome. That's excellent. Excellent. You've said a couple of things, but I'm going to pick for one more here. Let's pretend you and I were at a coffee shop having a cup of coffee, and somebody walked in, was all set to start a new business. What's one piece of advice you would give that person?
It would be to build a kitchen cabinet. In politics, we call it that. When you're starting a campaign, I would say the same applies here. Build a roster of advisors,
Ah,
people
good.
can go to for help.
Hmm.
And these people should not all be from the same industry. They should not all bring the same value to the table or
Hmm.
to your idea, your business, your mission. They should be diversified so they each
Hmm.
bring something different to the table.
Hmm.
And you will be so surprised because now you're the bridge of also connecting these individuals together that probably don't know each other, but
Right.
you are the nucleus. You are the bridge. And having those people at the ready that you can call them, email them, text them, whatever, at any given time within, the proper boundaries of not at all hours of the night to ask them for advice or help. Or if something comes up that you troubleshoot with them, right? I just got this opportunity. I don't really know if this is the right fit. Or for most people that I coach, like imposter syndrome sets in, right? Especially for
Hmm.
women, which I hate.
Hmm.
More so than men, because we are absolutely qualified and deserving to be sitting at these tables and in these rooms. But they're like, I haven't really done this before, and I don't know if I can do it. Yes, you can do it, or they wouldn't have come to you to ask you if you can do it for them. They
Yep.
see something in you, have that courage and confidence in yourself. And when you feel doubt, reach out to your advisors, not just to boost you up and to, be your hype person, but to make sure you're on the right track and talk it through with them. And then I guarantee you that stress or anxiety or uncertainty that you felt will start to melt away.
Awesome. 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 Kind of picking from that. What's one book you're reading now or have read recently that's had impact on how you do your business?
Well, I will always say I'm not reading it right now, but and I will give you what I'm reading right now, but one that I think everybody should read, and I just referred my coaching client to this book and author, and he read it and said it was incredible, is Presence by Amy Cuddy. If you are not familiar with her, she gave a TED. She has, I think, the highest viewed TED Talk ever out there. She is incredible researcher, scientist, formerly was an instructor and professor at Harvard. And then the one that I'm reading right now is Stillness is the Key by Ryan Holiday. I would say that
Okay.
that's a really good book as well.
Fantastic. Fantastic. You've had a great journey. You've learned a lot. You've done a lot. You've seen a lot. Which are you most proud of?
Mm. Any of my roles, which have been most of them through acts of service.
Mm.
When I say service, that doesn't mean working for free, y'all. It means being in service of somebody. And
Hmm.
that is I feel my why, my
Hmm.
purpose of why I am here
Hmm.
is to be in service of others and to also be that bridge and connector. And
Fantastic. Yeah.
everyone in my life tells me that is one of my greatest gifts and skills is bringing
Hmm.
people together and
Hmm.
creating community.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Following up to the flip side of that, if there was one thing in your business you could wave a magic wand and improve, what would it be?
It would be brand awareness and growth. Social media is your friend
Hmm.
as a business if you know how to utilize it to your advantage. But as things get more sophisticated
Ah, good word.
and AI continues to expand in everything we do, I feel that
Hmm.
there are a lot of opportunities there, but
Hmm.
there's been a lot of drawbacks as well. Like,
Yes.
meaning people are questioning if someone is real. If so, to
Yes.
be your most authentic, transparent self is key and critical. And so to go back and answer your question, how I could have done things different is not being so focused on being the perfect polished Laurie that I need to be.
Just to be the
And
best, Laurie.
yeah, and show up as yourself because when I do that, that's when I have the most success.
Awesome. That's a fantastic learning, actually. That is a fantastic learning. So picking up from that, and I kind of think of this as the most important question, how can people who want to know more connect with you, get in touch?
Well, Laurie A. Watkins, that is my handle on Instagram, on X. You can find me on Facebook, business as well, and LinkedIn. LinkedIn is one of my favorite tools for business. Turned into, no, I've received a lot of referrals and a lot of
Mhm.
opportunities through that platform. And some people are saying that it's becoming like the Facebook of work, but I don't think so. It's still considered reputable. People take it seriously, find it
Mhm.
to be a professional space. I think for the most part, there's decorum there. People
Yes,
are not
to the most part.
bullying and calling each other names. And they're
Yeah.
also, if somebody posts something that's, contains disinformation, you just read the comments and like they've taken care of it all. And those are the experts, right? These are the
Yeah.
professionals in these industries that are like, no, that's not true. I come to this and I'm stating this with 25 years plus experience,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
you're going to listen to that person because you can quickly see their profile and their resume and be like, ooh, that person absolutely knows what they're talking about
Mhm.
versus someone with a quick soundbite, etc. But for the most part, yeah, you can find me on my website as well, laurieawatkins.com. And I'm all over. So you just Google me and you'll I don't think you'll have a problem finding me.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
And please follow me. And on my YouTube channel as well.
Last question. What is most inspiring to you today?
Oh, what is most inspiring to me, this is a very easy answer, is the younger generation. That's why I love to get invitations to come speak to the younger generation, whether
Mhm.
that's college, postgraduate, people that have graduated and trying to figure it out, and all the way down to elementary school, right?
Mhm.
These kids are the future. They are
Mhm.
so whip smart. They know what's going on. And the amount and the filter that they have to weed out the BS is unreal. Talk about
Mhm.
transparency and being authentic. Kids
Mhm.
will call you out. And it's very refreshing when I hear children, and I'll speak about policy specifically, not necessarily politics, policy, that when you hear a 7-year-old child be able to take a what seems like a very complex, the media, let me rephrase that, where the media will make it seem so complex that it's undigestible.
Mhm.
And a 7-year-old can whittle it down into one or two sentences. And furthermore, when you see these kids going to city council meetings and speaking in front of state legislatures,
Mhm.
advocating for clean air and water,
Mhm.
advocating for their books not to be banned in their schools,
Mhm.
advocating for the protection of people's rights.
Mhm.
That is what inspires me.
Awesome. 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 It's been a great conversation. So thank you very much for sharing.
A
This has been
pleasure.
very good. This has been very good.
Thanks for
Um,
having me.
for everybody watching, I encourage you to go back, save the show, watch it again. Laurie's shared some really good insights, some really good ideas here. So don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel so you can get notifications every time we drop a conversation like this one. Um, thank you for everybody for who's joined us today. Thank you especially to Laurie for sharing her time and coming in and helping us see her side of business. Thank you very much, Laurie.
Thank you. Stay strong, everyone.